A successful business is all about leadership. Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business, is the weekly broadcast where you'll learn from successful entrepreneurs and business owners about how to thrive, not just survive, and make more money in any environment. I'm your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO. I'm the author of Running Your Small Business Like a Pro and founder of the Small Business Pro University. My co-host, Arthur Jones, is the lead consultant at The Art of Standing Out. Together, we facilitate important conversations with high-performing guest experts who share some of their secrets to success. Leadership Live is brought to you by the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Join us every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. and remember that the more you know, the faster you grow. Good evening, everyone. How you doing? This is Andrew Frazier, and welcome to Leadership Live at 8:05, where we're going to be talking small business. Very excited about tonight. We have a special topic and a great conversation. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Masterpreneur journey. What is that, you say? Well, stay tuned and listen in, and you'll get a chance to learn about it. I'm here with my co-host, Arthur Jones. Always enjoy hanging out with him on Tuesday nights, as well as you guys, and really talking about small business and things that could be valuable to business owners just like you. Art, you want to come on and look forward to talking with you this evening.
Well, absolutely. You know, when it's Tuesday night, I'm always excited to be here at Leadership Live, because we're always talking about leadership. We're always talking about the more you know, the faster you grow. And I think tonight is certainly, I guess, the pinnacle of that effort to learn so we can profit and grow. So I'm excited about tonight. As always, when it's Tuesday, it's Leadership Live, but tonight is really special because it's launching one of your new concepts, Andrew, and I think this one really is designed to meet that standard for providing incredible knowledge from all of the great connections and contacts and content creators that you've had on this show and that just revolve around the Small Business Pro community. Now they're here to share with your audience the knowledge that has helped them succeed. And so that's really a great thing. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you about it tonight.
Okay, definitely, Art. Very excited here as well. It's a big week. We've got Leadership Live this week, but we're officially launching the Small Business Pro University on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. And really, the launch is about celebrating the journey. It's been almost a 2-year journey developing the Small Business Pro University, and we've had many people involved in helping to make it happen. So really, it's about a launch celebration to celebrate those, introduce those, and really share what the university is all about. And then next Thursday at 7 p.m., we're going to have our first open house where you can come in and learn about the university and how the university can help you move forward with your goals. So before we get started, what we want to do is just show you, what the university is. And we'll do this short video to give you an idea what the university is and what the university is all about. And then we'll come back and talk with Art about the Masterpreneur journey. Here we go. Do you own your business, or does it own you? Are you having cash flow issues, or do you need financing? Is your business growing, and are you making enough money? As a business owner, there are so many things you need to know to become more successful. You must continually increase your knowledge, even though it is difficult to find a comprehensive, quality source of information that is readily available. Hello, my name is Andrew Frazier, the Business Growth Pro and CFO. I empower business owners to maximize the value of their companies by growing revenue, increasing profit, and obtaining financing. I've worked with over 500 business owners one-on-one and have taught thousands of people about business. I'm the author of Running Your Small Business Like a Pro. The more you know, the faster you grow. I created the Small Business Pro University for you and collaborated with other experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who are experts in their respective fields. Whether your challenges are in marketing, finance, operations, or strategy, we've got you covered. Small Business Pro University has self-paced, dynamic, multimedia learning experiences created by more than 20 instructors who are business owners just like you. Some of the courses are even in Spanish, and new ones are being added all the time. Each course is clear, concise, and focused because we respect your busy schedule. Small Business Pro University will empower you to become a masterpreneur by learning the secrets to creating a successful enterprise to go from working in your business to working on your business.
He's provided me with valuable feedback.
I gotta say, I'm glad I trusted you with your plan because
words that you've said to me, I say them to myself all the time.
And, Andrew breaks it down in a very understandable way.
Become a Masterpreneur Club member. Take advantage of our strategic coaching program, or just simply choose the courses that you need. Please feel free to sample our offerings at www.sbprou.com. Test drive one of our free courses to experience the benefits. We will empower you to thrive and not just survive and make more money in any business environment.
I love that video. It really speaks volumes about where the Small Business Pro University is. I think more importantly, Andrew and Andrew and I, when we have private conversations, I'm really always in awe of him because now he's through the Small Business Pro University making all that he's learned over the course of his founder career. He's sharing it with us. And I think that's just a powerful, powerful thing. But I think more importantly, what I've learned about Andrew in the decade or so that I've known him is that he's been a masterpreneur since he had a paper route, showing up at the door of the homeowners that owed him $2 saying, "Where's my money?" And it's always been that kind of purposeful focus on getting the job done. And so as we talked about launching the Small Business Pro University and offering the Masterpreneur certification, I thought it was kind of useful for those that don't know Andrew as well as I do, and some of you in the audience do, to share a short segment of a slide deck that will take us through some of Andrew's journey, so you too can appreciate the fact that he's just not making this up with a magic wand. This journey that he wants you to go on to achieve your success is a journey he's been on for many decades, since he was a young man. So Andrew, if you would, kick off that slide deck and let's share with the audience the Andrew Frazier journey.
Okay. Art, definitely through my journey, there's really three key themes that I've experienced throughout the many years. The first one is of being an architect, planning, putting together a plan. I used to work with Legos, like many of you, erector sets, drawings, and actually went to undergrad and studied mechanical engineering at MIT, but really always loved to develop plans and strategies and then be able to implement them. The second thing is leadership. Having served in the military, worked as an executive, having volunteered, leadership has always been a huge piece of my experience, even from a young age. My grandfather was a business owner. My mom was involved in civil rights, a community leader, had her own business, and really leadership has been a hallmark and something that I've learned a lot about over the years. And then finally, as relationship building, building relationship. And it starts with your family. Wife Janae and I are up in the top corner. Actually, that was the day I graduated from college, and same day I got commissioned into the Navy. And we've been married for almost 30 years now. We've got 2 kids, and we're not quite as young as the picture with the kids. Actually, my daughter just graduated from college last year, and my son just started college last year. So where does the time go? But really from the beginning of having started my first business, been in first business as a paper boy, and going from there to having the route with my brother, expanding that to more of a snow shoveling business, having a business in college, working as a corporate executive, getting my MBA, just so many different things along the journey that I incorporate into what I do now.
Yeah, that's powerful. And I think the thing that I didn't notice the last time I saw that slide deck is that in front of the reflection pool in the Washington Monument, there are Cub Scouts, Scouts, and Eagle Scouts. Were you in that photo?
I was. My son was in Boy Scouts for, I guess, almost 6-7 years, and I was the assistant troop leader. And we would go on different trips, and he would get different badges, and was very involved. And it was just a great experience. Teaches you valuable lessons and gives you leadership opportunities and experiences.
I think there's a metric that says that in the past, young men that became Eagle Scouts, there's a long list that went on to become President of the United States. So there is a trajectory of going through scouting to get to higher offices, I guess. One of the things I think that's also interesting that in that slide deck is not there. You kind of quickly mentioned it. And I'd like for us to take a little bit more time and share with the audience a little more detail about it, because, you talk about corporate life, but my recollection is that when you were at New York Life as an executive, helping run that business and being a CFA and being really focused on that part of your career, at the very same time, you had a vision. And it began with the Power Breakfast. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was when you'd always had the entrepreneurial spirit, but this vision materialized and brought us to where we are today. And it's like a 10 or 11-year journey. And I want to mention that because I think what's important for people to know, and I know you say this all the time, Andrew, is that when you hire a consultant, you want to be sure that they feel your pain, that they have been there and done that. And so, Andrew, take us through that bit of the journey a little bit, because I think our audience that doesn't know you as well as I do would really appreciate knowing that you've been in the trenches and you built from the ground up. You didn't quit your day job right away, but eventually you had grown a business that you could dedicate yourself and commit yourself entirely to where we are today. So take us through a little bit of that, if you will.
Always been entrepreneurial, even when I was working for other people, developing plans, developing strategies. While I was at New York Life, I went there right after business school and had an opportunity to work in finance, investments, general management, but also was able to do some real estate investing and work on my business there. Went to the Executive Leadership Council as their chief operating officer. And from there, had an important decision to make. Do I go back to corporate? Do I go the entrepreneurial route? Because, the nonprofit route, I don't think fit me well. Given my interest in business and having my own business, that was the opportunity I took to, really be able to help other entrepreneurs and business owners and really use all of my expertise and skills in what I'm doing. So, one of the key things early on was relationship building. And, the Power Breakfast was an opportunity to help business owners and entrepreneurs build the relationships that they need. And, one of the key things is for minority women entrepreneurs, a lot of times they don't take advantage of the opportunities that are available for business owners because they may not know about them, or they have to go out of their comfort zone to get access to them. So the Power Breakfast brought business owners together with resources and other organizations that help business owners, like chambers of commerce, like the Small Business Development Center, and really created a forum for networking and connecting, and helping make it easier and more comfortable for these business owners to get access to the support that is available to them.
Yeah, and I think that once again, you mentioned ELC. I know that's the Executive Leadership Council. I know that it's it is the premier association for executives from Fortune 500 companies, African-American executives entirely. That was it 2 or 3 steps from the CEO that they had to be in order to become a member?
Yeah, so you had to be within 3 steps of the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. So all really serious people who've been very successful.
And how many members were there?
At that time, there were around 300 members, give or take a few, depending when you count. But we had Ken Chenault as a member. We had other senior corporate African-American CEOs and senior managers. It's great to see there's almost 600 members now. So looking at it 15 years later, the growth has been tremendous.
I think what's interesting about Andrew's time as the chief operating officer for this illustrious premier association of executives, it kind of goes to the tagline that's on his book. The more you know, the faster you grow. Because can you imagine being the chief operating officer and rubbing shoulders with executives, not just because they were making $800,000 or $1.5 million a year, but because they had spans of controls for whole regions of the world, global responsibility these executives managed. And these were people that Andrew worked with day in and day out. I'm amazed at what conversations happened around a water cooler when he was there. But we should appreciate the fact that experience, like all the other experiences that Andrew has had on that journey that we've talked about, really help expand his vision to help us grow our businesses. So I didn't want to overlook or understate the importance of ELC in the trajectory of the lessons learned and experience gained by Andrew. And I'm sure it's true, and I think I could say this with some confidence, that there are several educators providing curriculum in the university that come from that ELC cohort. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
And that's really important because, when you think about the Small Business Pro University and you think about what kind of curriculum is in there and who are the instructors, well, these instructors 15 years ago may have been 2 steps away at Procter & Gamble from the leadership role as CEO. And now they have their own professional business practice, maybe as a consultant, maybe as founding another company of their own. But through the relationship they have with our fearless leader, Andrew, they come and create curriculum for you and I to share, to help us learn, so we can know what we don't, so we can accomplish more. That's pretty powerful. So we have Andrew to thank for having rubbed shoulders with that crowd and cohort of people, because through those relationships that we now have access to that same knowledge.
At the university, we've got more than 20 instructors that, not only are business owners, but they're experts in their respective fields. And, like Arthur mentioned, we've got a few who are Executive Leadership Council members, one who was president of a division of a major company that was making over $1 billion in sales. And he helped the company go from losing money to making over $80 million within 3 years, which is pretty significant, as well as, other people, another instructor, Stan, I was in the Navy with. he was on a few weeks back.
Yeah.
He saved the Navy over $1 billion over 18-month period. That's like crazy. But he talked to us about how he did it and what he did based on data, based on information, using lean techniques, and really was able to create a lot of value and help the organization run so much more successfully.
And I think that the theme that exists throughout all of the instructors producing curriculum for the Small Business Pro University and presenting here on Leadership Live is that they come to the podium and the course really committed to the notion that leadership is first and foremost the thing that helps you achieve more. And Commander Data, 30 plus years in the Navy, responsible for $1 billion aircraft carriers. I can't even conceive of how big the role of responsibility is, but I know he had a Gulfstream that he flew around the world in, and that's pretty impressive. And if you think about what a commander with that kind of responsibility, what he believes about leadership and the responsibility for his internal customer, his staff, and the external customer that he serves, us, the American people, huge responsibility and strong depth of commitment.
The Masterpreneur journey is something that I've developed based on the experiences that I've had throughout my own journey. And really working with so many business people, you start to see patterns and you start to see challenges they face, but also you start to see people who have overcome the challenges and how they did that and where they went and how it happened. And because of that, was really able to see what the journey you must take as a business owner if you're going to create a business that is sustainable and that can successfully run without you. And that's really what the Masterpreneur journey is. It's about going from before you even start your business along 5 key steps to when you have created a business that is sustainable and can run successfully without you. And it's the Masterpreneur journey. And that's really what Small Business Pro University is all about, helping people traverse the journey. Basically, that's what my coaching, consulting, and training business is about. It's about helping people traverse that journey. It's not easy. Not a lot of people make it that far, but whatever you can learn will make you move further along the path. And I always say, as a business owner, your business can only go as far as you're prepared to take it. So how are you going to learn and develop your skills so that you can take your business further? And that's what the university is all about.
What I think is when I look at the structure that you've built into the Masterpreneur, we talk about leadership, we talk about emotional intelligence, and in emotional intelligence, there's that. What leaders have is a self-awareness. They know where they are in terms of their ability. There are several pieces of curriculum and a constant theme throughout that we are taught to assess ourselves, to be clear on where we are in the journey. Are we working in our business? Are we working on our business? Are we prepared to get financing or not? Are we prepared to sell our business for a profit, or should we wait because we haven't done the appropriate work to prepare it for sale? That assessment, doing it early and often, helps us accomplish so much more. And I know that's near and dear to Andrew's heart, because I know I've heard him say, are you working in your business or on your business? And sometimes I got to smack my head and say, I think he's talking about me again. So, because sometimes it's hard for us to pull ourselves out of the business so we can work on it. And the Small Business Pro University is tailor-made to show us how to make that transition.
Making that transition is key. And understanding how to do that, developing the Masterpreneur journey to really lay out what is the path? How do you do that? And let me take a second to walk you through the actual journey, and then we can talk more about, how you traverse it. How do you know where you are? How do you get to the next place? And what does it take? The Masterpreneur journey, really what everything in the Small Business Pro University is all about, helping you to go from getting ready to start your business all the way through building your business to being a successful business that can run without you, where we define is around 20 million a year in sales and all the steps in between. There's 5 steps to the Masterpreneur journey. And the first step is working on the concept of your business. So before you have a business, you have to conceptualize it and figure out what your business is going to be. So that's the first step. From there, you have to actually create a business. Now, to create a business, initially, you're going to work in the business. Now, generally, you're not really in business until you've made some sales. So many people are in the concept stage for a while, but once you've made some sales, then you're officially in business. And then you're usually working in your business. You're working as employee or manager. But if your business is going to grow, you can't spend all your time working in it, because how are you going to improve it? How are you going to expand it? So if you're too busy doing the day-to-day, then who's managing your business? And that's really the next piece, is you have to develop your business to a point where you can work on the business. So where you're working on managing the business, continually improving the business, looking at the numbers of the business. Those are the first 3 steps. Most businesses never even make the transition from working in their business to working on their business. So that's one of the things I work with a lot of people on, is how to make that step, because it's a whole different set of skills and abilities and responsibilities to go from being a supervisor to a manager. And if you don't manage well, then you're not going to be able to be successful in that stage. But that's not enough. To really make a business that can run without you, you have to grow that business and you have to plan. So you have to work on the future of your business. What do you want your business to look like in the future? And what is your plan and strategy to get there? So you have to work on the future of your business so that you can take your business to the next level and you can grow your business. And then finally, the 5th step is scaling your business. Once you have the right plan and strategy, it's about implementing it. And that's where scaling comes in. So the 5 steps: working on the concept of your business, then you go and work in your business to get it up and running. Then you work on your business to optimize it, and then work on the future of your business to plan for growth, and then work on scaling your business to actually achieve the growth. So that's what the Masterpreneur journey is.
That's really powerful. And, I think we often hear people say that it's easier to start a business today, largely because, you don't have to hire an ad agency on Madison Avenue. We have social media now. And, as you were going through that progression from going to working in your business where you're the solopreneur, you're chief cook and bottle washer, and you take out the trash. When you're working on your business as a leader of your business, you have to make really hard decisions on, what am I going to outsource because I can't do it all? How am I going to hire well so they do a job well? How do I determine whether I hire somebody or do I bring software in-house to optimize my business processes? Those are all things that a leader has to decide. And understanding your business often requires somebody to see your business through clear eyes. Because as we're growing a business, it's like a romance. We start the business, we fall in love with our business, and it's like a baby. We don't want anybody to call our baby ugly. And sometimes there are things that are not efficient in our business that we invented. And somebody with clear eyes, like an Andrew Frazier, shows up and says, Art, so tell me about this process. So, oh, wow, listen, I take my apple out, I polish it on my jacket and say, I'm very proud of that process. Let me tell you what it does. And then Andrew looks at you and says, well, how long does it take? And how much time do you really have to still invest to get that task done? And as he's asking those thought-provoking questions, I'm really coming to the realization that maybe my baby's not as cute as I thought it was. And it was the clear eyes of a professional that understands business process and business process automation that can really help me now eliminate the love affair with that thing that I invented and switch to something that's going to really be intent on optimizing that process, because optimization will save me time, and time is money in anybody's business. So leaders make decisions that they hire the right people to help them make the right decisions very often. And I think you'll hear that as a reoccurring theme in the Small Business Pro University, that when the leaders come and teach those courses, very often they will get to that point in their presentation where they say, and oftentimes you have to go outside. If your network is your net worth, your network of people that you look to for advice and counsel and coaching might be your most important part of that network.
No, definitely. One of my mentors was a plumber and in construction. And one of the things I always remember he used to say is, always use the right tool, because a job could be 10 times harder if you don't have the right tool. So he would go buy tools. Like, we'd be somewhere working on something. I'd be like, oh, we just need to do this. He's like, no, I need to get me a tool. And, but it makes sense, because you can save a lot of time and effort if you have the right tool. And, one of the other things is, there's a saying where, to a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Oh, yeah.
So you also have to remember that it depends who you're working on and what perspective they're coming from as to how they're looking at solving a problem. And you want to make sure you have, the perspective that's needed, and people with a full toolkit who can have the right tools for the situations that you're in.
Yeah, like if I'm struggling with marketing and somebody introduces me to a social media guru, then that social media person, all they have is social media. To them, every solution is a social media solution. And maybe that in my case is not true. How do you make a determination that this person's really credible in social media, but is that really what I need? To a social media person, every problem can be solved with social media. And maybe it's a copywriter that just produces better copy that you really need. How do you make that assessment?
Well,
clear eyes help you accomplish that.
Yeah. And, the other thing is, everything goes back to planning and your strategy. Before you hire someone, you want to have a plan. And if your plan calls for social media, then you hire a social media person. But if it doesn't, then you don't need one. But if you don't have a plan, you don't know what you need or what you don't need. So, the first thing is getting the perspective and developing your plan and strategy, so that you are implementing the most effectively and efficiently that you can. And then you'll get way better results in less time. So, that's one of the key things I always focus on is, understand people's business model and their strategy, and make sure they're the right fit for what they're trying to do.
Yeah, just because a consultant gives you a 3-ring binder with some pretty pages and graphs on the inside, and that you paid X number of thousands of dollars for it, doesn't mean it's the right course of action for you to follow. Knowing a leader knows what the plan says their next 90 days, 180 days mission is, and they know where the alligators are in their own personal swamp because they're clear-eyed about it. And if they can't see it, they hire somebody to come in, because if I need to know about financing, I'm not going to Google it, right? I'm going to call Andrew, right? If I need to know about a medical challenge that I might be having, I don't Google it and ask Dr. Google. I find a practitioner that's done the work, that's going to give me crystal clear information, so I don't make a mistake in the decisions that I make. And I think in the Small Business Pro University, you've got a lot of practitioners that you can look at, and you'll see in the liner notes of each course what the subject matter is. And I think the real magic in the Small Business Pro University is that you have the provost of the university is Andrew, and he's not letting anything in there that's not going to serve you, right? And there's not a lot of overlap in the university. Meaning you don't have 5 people doing marketing and 5 people doing something else. There's a linear way of looking at the university, because if it's marketing, there's video marketing, there's email marketing, and there's LinkedIn marketing. And you'll find in the curriculum that you can pick the one that's going to serve you the best. And I think that really makes shopping for solutions all the more compelling, because you're not settling for what's in the university. Andrew's curating what belongs in the university to make sure that you can get the answers you need.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's critical to have accurate information and to have somewhere you can go to know that it's accurate. So, with my experience, with my relationships, everyone who's in the university is there because I feel that they are credible, that they're knowledgeable, and that their expertise is valuable. And, one of the key things is that's what we want to share with you, because at the end of the day, my goal is to help more business owners be more successful. My goal for 2000 was and is to help over 1,000 business owners grow their business. And I can't do that all one-on-one, and that's part of what the university is all about. So, we talked about the university being based on the Masterpreneur journey, and what I'd like to do is just show you a little bit more of what the Masterpreneur journey is all about, so you can have an even better appreciation of what we're offering. So we've got the 5 steps, but if you break down the steps and go into a little bit more detail, you can sort of see what the owner's role is, going from an entrepreneur to employer supervisor to a manager to executive to CEO. Now, those 5 steps, most people never ever make in their lifetime, whether they're working for someone or in their own business. And generally, most people might just make it 1 step or 2 steps throughout their whole career. So, I talk about, as a business owner, there's so many things that you need to know that you don't know. If you're going to successfully grow a business and create one that can run without you, you're going to have to be able to traverse all those roles. And each one has different skills, activities, requirements to be able to do them successfully. So, one of the first things is you as a business owner have to prepare yourself to be able to grow your business. And, that's one of the things I work on people with through coaching, because a lot of these things you're not going to be able to figure out on your own. For example, a lot of business owners have difficulty going from step 2 to step 3, being an employee or supervisor to being a manager, because being a supervisor and manager, there's usually tension between the two. So once you've been a supervisor, it's difficult to transition to the other side. And the other thing is, as a manager, what you're doing is you're working to improve the processes in the business. And the only way you can improve stuff is by measuring it and using numbers. And I found many business owners are not comfortable with numbers and are scared or don't like to use them. So if you don't use numbers and analysis, you're never ever going to be a good manager. And that's where your business is going to be stuck between steps 2 and 3. From there, also, I work with a lot of business owners who are managers and managing their business, but trying to move the business to the next level. And the next level is being an executive. But as an executive, you have to effectively lead managers, and you have to build a leadership team, which is difficult because you're hiring new people into the organization. You're probably paying them more than you've ever paid anyone before within your organization. And it takes them some time to develop, and they're not going to be as good as you from day one, but you don't want them to be you. And because you've been a manager, your tendency is you like to micromanage. And when you micromanage a good manager, they either leave or they become a bad manager. So, moving to the executive level, it's difficult for many business owners to make that transition as well. But if you don't do that, you can't develop anyone to be able to run your business if you're not there. And if you want to have a business has maximum value and that's sellable, you have to create a business that can run without you. And, this talks about the owner's role, your business goals, how to achieve them. We've got courses and training and development of, how you do all these things. Looking at your key challenge at different stages and steps, you have different key challenges. So how do you overcome them? And also looking at your business structure. How do you structure your business appropriate to be able to make the journey? So a lot of things have to come together to successfully traverse along the journey. And it's not a 1 year, a 2 year, it can take a long time. Some businesses, it takes less time. But if you don't follow these steps and move along this path of the journey, then you're off the path in quicksand. And until you come back to the path, you're not really going to be able to move forward that well.
That chart is representative of what a leader has to know. There's a lot there, because buried beneath each one of those 5 columns in those 4 rows, there's a lot of knowledge that you need to have before you can move to the next level. And this is a question. The question is, if I subscribe to the Masterpreneur curriculum, the subscription level where I have access to multiple courses within the university, but I need someone to help me interpret what I'm learning in the course. I have questions. And you said earlier, you can't serve all of us. That's why the university exists. But can I hire you or somebody on your team as my alternative board to say, look, I've been studying in the course in the university and I've learned so much, but there are some questions that I have about this concept because I think I've got my head around it, but how do I implement it? Can I then come to you and have the subscription to the university, but not have to have 10 hours that I work with you every month, which is much more expensive?
Yes. One of the reasons why we made the Masterpreneur Club is to make it more affordable and to create more value for more business owners. So as a result, you have access to quite a few courses by different instructors. But not only that, we have activities, 3 activities a month. We have a networking activity, we have a roundtable activity, and we have a group coaching activity. So those are some ways that you can interact as well. But if you want additional interaction, we do coaching and training, individually or for groups that we can do, or work with you one-on-one. So, it sort of depends on your needs and wants. We start with the university because, there's some basic things that you need to know that you can learn there. But if you want to take it further, you want help implementing and delivering on it, we can definitely help you with that.
So the group coaching, the networking sounds like pretty powerful. And that happens on several times in the course of a month, where you can network with the other masterpreneurs that are on the same journey. They might be at a different level on their journey, but what better way, the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. You want to soar, fly with eagles, right? And it sounds like a really a well-ordered and well-orchestrated endeavor, the Small Business Pro University. And I just like the name. I want to be a masterpreneur. I mean, it sounds like hard work, right? Because the word master, and we know being an entrepreneur is hard. But I think the fact that we can rely on the experience that you have had becoming your own masterpreneur. We can rely on the experience of the people creating curriculum, like Commander Data, 30 years in the Navy, a commander in the U.S. Navy, flying around the world on the Gulf Stream, taking care of business. It's just one example of the leadership caliber of people providing curriculum that the masterpreneurs can take advantage of. Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. And, all this wouldn't have been possible, one, without support and learning and development along the journey. And, one of the key reasons that I was able to develop the journey and understand and help people along the journey is because I've actually had a role in every single step along the journey and learned how to successfully perform in those roles. So it's not just something I know about, it's experience. Experience how to be a good supervisor, what it means, how to supervise people. Experience managing a team, managing a process, putting in structure. Experience as an executive, leading managers, being able to lead and coach and let other people develop and grow. And then as a CEO, where you have to make important decisions and you have to be outward facing and really grow your business. So the experience is key. And then you couple that with education, it really allows you to, really understand. And that's where the Masterpreneur journey is coming from. It's not just 5 steps we put together. It's backed up by experience, by knowledge, by the things that make it solid. It's best practices across the board. So that's really what the Masterpreneur journey is all about.
It sounds like, I'm not sure who said this quote, but perfect practice leads to perfect performance. And you've been practicing being a masterpreneur since your paper routes and your snow shoveling back in the day, through every other endeavor that you've had. So kudos for that. Great practice makes the great performance that we're seeing today, and certainly makes the Small Business Pro University and the Masterpreneur certification something we all should aspire to, because like it says on your book cover, the more you know, the faster you grow. And I can't believe an hour is almost up. It goes so fast, but it's always good learning a little bit more about Andrew's journey. And that's the pleasure I have as I sit in the seat beside him on Tuesday nights here on Leadership Live. And
Okay.
so thanks for having me as your co-host. I appreciate it.
Okay, great. And, just to recap, when we look at the Masterpreneur journey, there's 5 steps going from entrepreneur to CEO, and you can't really skip a step. And these are steps that the owner has to be able to transition between successfully. And that's what the Small Business Pro University is all about. When we look at the university, we have the Masterpreneur Club, which features valuable learning opportunities, key resources, and a powerful network. We're launching this Thursday evening at 7 p.m. So you're welcome to join us, learn more about the instructors, the curriculum, the team that helped put this university together. And then next Thursday at 7 p.m., we have a virtual open house where we're going to open up the university to potential participants and give them the opportunity to understand exactly how the university can benefit them and allow them to become part of the Masterpreneur Club and have access to the different courses available at the university. So, we're talking about the Small Business Pro University. Find out more at www.sbpro.u. I got a couple minutes left. Art, I'll let you share something and then we'll end with the university video.
Well, fantastic. Thanks to everybody listening live and listening on replay. I think this is really an important show because it really is another step up the ladder for Andrew for sure, but for all of us that can participate in the Small Business Pro University, because it's now coming alive, and as it launches, I'm sure there's a lot more to come in the future. So you'll hear about it all on Thursday and next week on the 29th. So stay tuned and tune in to learn more about what's happening in the Small Business Pro University and with the Masterpreneur Club.
Definitely appreciate everybody on Facebook who's joined in, and those of you who get a chance to check this out later down the road. And excited about launching the university. And here's a quick video that'll tell you all about it. Do you own your business or does it own you? Are you having cash flow issues or do you need financing? Is your business growing and are you making enough money? As a business owner, there are so many things you need to know to become more successful. You must continually increase your knowledge, even though it is difficult to find a comprehensive, quality source of information that is readily available. Hello, my name is Andrew Frazier, the Business Growth Pro and CFO. I empower business owners to maximize the value of their companies by growing revenue, increasing profit, and obtaining financing. I've worked with over 500 business owners one-on-one and have taught thousands of people about business. I'm the author of Running Your Small Business Like a Pro. The more you know, the faster you grow. I created the Small Business Pro University for you and collaborated with other experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who are experts in their respective fields. Whether your challenges are in marketing, finance, operations, or strategy, we've got you covered. Small Business Pro University has self-paced, dynamic, multimedia learning experiences created by more than 20 instructors who are business owners just like you. Some of the courses are even in Spanish, and new ones are being added all the time. Each course is clear, concise, and focused because we respect your busy schedule. Small Business Pro University will empower you to become a masterpreneur by learning the secrets to creating a successful enterprise to go from working in your business to working on your business.
He's provided me with valuable feedback.
I gotta say, I'm glad I trusted you with your plan because
Words that you've said to me, I say them to myself all the time.
And, Andrew breaks it down in a very understandable way.
Become a Masterpreneur Club member. Take advantage of our strategic coaching program, or just simply choose the courses that you need. Please feel free to sample our offerings at www.sbprou.com. Test drive one of our free courses to experience the benefits. We will empower you to thrive and not just survive and make more money in any business environment.